Welcome everyone. I am Paula Brehm-Heeger, the library's Eva Jane Romaine Coombe Director, and this year I invite you to join in honoring our veterans in a different way, online. Hamilton County is home to more than 40,000 veterans, and when our main library building opened in 1955, it was dedicated to the Hamilton County residents who were killed in World War I, World War II, and the Korean War. That important message of sacrifice and dedication, responsibility carries forward to this day. Please watch our YouTube playlist, learn about our library's connections to veterans, and meet several veterans who have participated in our programs. We appreciate all of our veterans, those who have served, as well as future veterans, the brave men and women who are serving our country now. Their selfless dedication is an important key to upholding the principles of our democratic society and an inspiration to us all. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Ray Hughes. The Veterans History Project works to collect and preserve the personal accounts of American war veterans. I'm honored to be the Cincinnati and Hamilton County Public Libraries volunteer for this project. It's part of a larger nationwide effort by the Library of Congress that celebrates its 20th year in 2020. My role is to conduct local interviews and record oral histories such as these.
One of the biggest helps we had in the war was when we'd go in to take an objective of a town or village. We were preceded by tanks. And they would take a lot of we'd literally hide behind those tanks to protect from any injury. And we had one guy. He was so scared he shot himself in the hand, so he'd get called back to the medics, to the hospital.
So we're just sitting there while they went off, and all of a sudden this guy with the messed up BAR looked up and he kept saying, "Draw a bead on him, draw a bead on him." I looked up and I raised my rifle. Boy, things that go through your mind so fast. I figured, I didn't have this rifle when I was in boot camp. I don't know whether it shot high, low, or what. I shot for the neck. I figured it went high, it hit him in the head. It went low, it hit him down here. I fired one shot and he went over. And we didn't go up to him. We didn't know whether anybody else was watching him or anything else. So finally, the lieutenant come back and he wanted to know what that shot was. And he says, "Oh," he said, "Lou got one up there. He's laying down up there."
And he hollered, "Break, break, break." That means we're under attack and there's enemy they're shooting at us. "Break right, break right." So I broke right real quick. And I looked back and I could see an airplane on my tail, and I just swung around as tight as I could. You gotta get your guns pointed at them. And when I got turned around and pressed my trigger, I got one of them in my side and nothing happened. And I started pulling around. Well, every time I looked, there was another plane on my tail, so I was just twisting and turning every time, trying to keep these planes off of my tail, and then trying to keep them. And I tell you, I did every maneuver that I think that I ever heard of or ever thought of or ever seen done with an airplane. It was flying P-51 then.
Our goal was to take a man's place so he could go to war. That was it. That was our aim. That was our goal. To take a man's place, whatever his job was. So we were supposed to learn his job and then let him go on over to wherever he was going.
I joined the Army, but they assigned me to the Army Air Corps. I was one of the first women who were assigned to the Army Air Corps. We were called airwacs, and I've met several over the years as I've gathered with veterans. But we were kind of an elite group of people. I understood that.
My platoon was out front of the front lines on a little point that describes it in the book. Surrounded at night by the enemy, totally surrounded. And during the day, connected to the front lines by a trench. And the next morning after this opening offensive of the Chinese, we were to leave, and we all gathered up at the company CP and down the mountainside to battalion and then regiment and finally to the coast.
My first experience on guard duty in Duck Fall, my first night there. Of course, you always want to see if you know somebody. So there's nobody in the bunker I knew, so I go to the bunker to my right and know nobody, and I go to the bunker to my left and I know nobody. And they're playing cards in the bunker to the left. And that night, you know, you stay up until it starts getting dark, and then you split your guard duty. We look and we don't see them guys that was playing cards. Well, lo and behold, later on that night, a satchel charge got throwed, and it got thrown into their bunker and killed all of them because they were still probably playing cards.
And so I went around the front of the chopper, and they were there standing, and here we could hear the North Vietnamese coming for us, shouting and everything, and they thought, well, you know, they saw it go down. So you get around the side, and you know, you do a quick count, but you got to get out of there. As we turned around to go around, there was one, I thought they were all dead, but one in there couldn't get out, and it started burning. And it was pretty rough.
When you send your own troops in, I'm providing information that ultimately would kill the enemy, which was okay by me. But when you start sending your own troops in, and I'm the one that's giving them the information to tell them where it is, that weighed heavily on me because you knew somebody was going to get hurt.
Here's a dead American, as white as a sheet. Here's a dead enemy, white as a sheet, and it suddenly hits you right between the eyes. This is the real thing. No more training, no more preparation, no more boot camp, no more this, no more that. That could be me in 5 seconds or less. That, talk about fear that grips you like this is the real thing, you know. You think about your family, you think about your mother and father, your friends and everything. Here you are. It's all over now. This is the way it's going to be.
I encourage you to watch the full interviews on our YouTube playlist, and remember, this project exists so future generations can hear directly from veterans and better understand the realities of war. Thank you.
Paula Brehm-Heeger, the library's Eva Jane Romaine Coombe Library Director. I wanted to welcome our veterans today and thank you very deeply for your service to our country.
Thank you, veterans, for your service. We appreciate everything you've done for us, and we love you.
I want to say thank you to the men and women that's protecting our country. I just want to say thank you, and I salute y'all, and God bless.
I just wanted to thank all our veterans for all of their hard work, effort, blood, sweat, and tears. Personally, both my grandfather and my uncle were in the military. My grandfather in World War II in Italy, and my uncle was in Vietnam in the reserves for 30 years. So talking to my uncle, it's quite a calling. So I don't think all of our men and women in the service get all the appreciation they deserve, so thank you.
I want to give a special thanks to the veterans that's been here for our country and that's made it possible for us to enjoy the freedom that we got today.
This is a huge shout out to all of our veterans. Thank you for your service. We appreciate everything you do.
I just wanted to say that I'm so grateful to the men and women who serve our country and protect our freedoms every day. I personally know an officer who puts his life on the line every day as a police officer who also served our country, and they have a very difficult job, and we appreciate everything they do to keep us safe.
I'd like to thank all the veterans that served this God-given country. Thank you, veterans.
Thank you all so much for your service to our country. We all really appreciate it.
Our library prides itself on open access to information for our customers and the freedom that we have in this country to offer it. But that freedom would not be possible without you. The courage and dedication that you display every day help to keep our country and the rest of the world safe. Thank you for always putting our needs ahead of your own and for being willing to make the ultimate sacrifice. You are my heroes.
Thank you for all you do, and I hope you live a better life for every one of us.
And thank you for your service to our country. We really appreciate having you here and enjoying this day.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you for keeping us safe.